Hi everyone, let us go for another important theory in learning. So let us start the class with this quote by Einstein. I never teach my people, I only attempt to provide the conditions in which they learn. This is the basis of this new learning theory. Let us go for it. And we will present some new slides wherein which you have to interact. In these new slides, you will be seeing an object which you may not have seen in your day-to-day life. So you have to name the object. Okay, let us try. So this is an object. Normally we will see the part, but we wouldn't have seen the part like this as it is here. Could you name it? So try naming it, and you can write in a piece of paper. Okay, you can pause the video, also you can write, and then you can go for it. And there is no right or wrong answer, but the answer which is approximately close, which tells the characteristics of the object, that may be good. Okay. So if you tell hanging pot, that may be one of the answer. So this is another object. So it's a switch in which we have hanged some coat and bags. Okay, anchor switch could be the name. So we can try. So this is a different umbrella, where normal umbrella is on the left side, but it may go upside down due to air. But this one, it will not be like that. It won't go upside down during high speed air. So what could be the name of this umbrella? Just you can try. So this is a kind of door. You see what is the use of the door? Different heights humans can enter in different ways. And can you name the pin which is used to draw like this? Can be 3D pen. So the switch like this, which attracts object over it. Okay, these are the simple exercise which was given to you. I think you could have understood, where you are trying to give name. When we can give the name, if we could understand the characteristic of the object, we can try to give an appropriate name, maybe significantly near to the characteristics. So that's we call it as constructivism. We are constructing the name by knowing the characteristics. If we know the characteristics of the object, we will construct a name. And the name of the theory which we are going to see now is constructivism. Okay, as like this sketch, who construct mud house with the clay. So the constructivism this means that if we are constructing a meaning out of what we have understood. So suppose we study something, we can understand the meaning and form the concept within us. So a kind of self-learning. So that's why it's called as constructivism. So we can construct ideas or concepts based on the knowledge what we have understood from the class, from the book, maybe from the TV or paper, whatever it is. So this is what the idea given by this man Jean Piaget, and from him the word constructivism has come, and to his credit, he is the father of what is called as genetic epistemology. So if we literally translate it, this is called as origin and growth of knowledge. So genetic epistemology means it deals about the origin of knowledge and how it also grows. So it was elaborately done by him, 30 years of research. Just little bit summary of this research we are going to see, and the kind of learning which he has promulgated is constructivism. So constructing our own meaning from our learning. So these are simple two examples based on his real experiment done with his samples. But what we are seeing is the constructed from his own theory, his own experiment, which was done later. So we could get something from the experiment. So I am projecting it from the YouTube, the experiment. So if you
Can you look at these two glasses? Do you think that they have the same amount of juice? You think they have the same? Okay. Now we're going to pour this juice into this glass. Now, do you think that this glass has more juice, this glass has more juice, or do you think that they have the same amount?
That one has more.
This one has more, and why do you think that this one has more?
Because it's taller.
I think you could understand what that kid has said. The experimenter primarily, they had two glasses over here. You could see that two glasses with equal amounts of water, and she is transferring from one glass to the other glass, which is taller and slender, and she is asking which one, whether the both water are same or different. This kid has told it is different. The longer one possesses more amount of water, like that this kid has told, which we know it is wrong. Okay, so this was one experiment. Also, I like to tell, I like to play the other experiments, and these two from the YouTube. Again, the same.
Okay, so we're going to take the juice from this glass and pour it into this one right here.
The same experiment to the other kid.
Okay, so now we're going to look at this glass and that one. So do you think that there's more juice in this glass, more juice in this glass, or do you think that they have the same amount?
Same amount.
Okay, why do you think that they have the same amount?
Just because it's a C doesn't mean it's not the same amount. It has the same amount of juice in it, but this one is just wider and this one's skinnier, but they have the same amount of juice.
Hope you could have understood from this video. The same experiment done with a kid of little bit more age, but she said the answer is correct. It is transferred from the other beaker which had equal amount of water, but since it is slender and thinner, it looks more. So like that she told. So these are the experiments done by Piaget, and it was later done by some experimenter in order to prove his experiments. So we'll go to the theory. Piaget has given a hypothetical structure in the brain which is called a schema. Schema is the repository of all learning which takes place. It's like a bank. Bank is a place where we keep the money. Likewise, schema is a place where we keep whatever we have learned by us. This learning may take place like this. The process of learning, it consists of these following four terms. One is the main one is the adaptation. So adaptation is that we adapt to the new things which we keep on learning throughout our life. So together it's entirely called as adaptation. We adapt to the learned things. This adaptation can be had in two ways. One is assimilation, the other one is accommodation. Assimilation is that as and when the new knowledge comes, we easily take it. Accommodation is that If the new knowledge comes, we little bit struggle and reframe it, and we try to put into our existing home. This is called accommodation. Let us try to understand with few examples. Let us take a newborn baby. A newborn baby is called as neonate. To the neonate, if mother's milk is given, it is easily digestible. This is assimilation. To the same newborn baby, if you give a hard substance like biscuit, like idli, first time it will get vomit. What we do is we mesh it and make it semi-solid and give to the kid. Even then, it may vomit. After few trials, it will try to accommodate the new food. So this is how our brain learns little bit hard things. One more example to understand it. Suppose a 3-year-old baby, to that baby we are telling about a dog. A dog is a four-legged animal, it barks, it moves with us. All these things we will tell, and its name is dog. This is easily assimilated by the kid. And there comes another four-legged animal, cow. So, first instant, it may not take the cow. And it tries to understand the difference between the cow and the dog. Even though both are four-legged animal, but both are different. It tries to put into the existing structure with little bit of struggle. So it has to rephrase, reframe, and then it tries to understand. This is called accommodation. Okay, assimilation and accommodation. And these two processes, if it's happening, in between another process also happen, which is called as equilibration. So assimilation is very easy to get it. When you get new things which is not easily understandable, at first it will be in disequilibrium state. This disequilibrium exists for quite some time, but when we try to rephrase it, reframe it, and when we try to put it to our existing cognitive structure to understand it, then we will go for equilibrium. From disequilibrium to equilibrium, we call it as an equilibrium process. For a teacher, we have to understand how to teach, how the kids or how the learner will in which stage they are, whether they are in assimilation or accommodation. We have to try to help them to construct their knowledge. And even a learner, by learning this, they can go for by the process of self-learning. They themselves know if it's very easy, they have easily understand it, then that is assimilation. If it is little hard, they have to try it. They have to try little. They have to go for little more attempts. They have to try to reframe it, repicture it, figure out to get the new things. Then that is accommodation. So now we are going to see Piaget says of cognitive development. It says about how our cognition grows. Cognition means knowing ability, from 0 years to 19 years. It is classified into 4 stages. Sensory motor stage is from 0 to 2 years, 2 to 7 years pre-operational stage, 7 to 11 years concrete operational stage, and 12 years and above up to 19 years it is formal operational stage. So in 0 to 2 years, so the basic memory will be formed. So they will imitate, but the imitation will be delayed imitation. So you can get it from the name itself, sensory motor stage. Through senses only, touching. So through senses only they will be learning sense. Touching, mostly the touching sense. Sensory motors. So these are the characteristics of the 0 to 2 years. When they move from 2 to 7 years, so language will be developed. So ego will be developed, ego will be formed. So conservation will not be there. Conservation means thinking in multiple, maybe in 3 dimensions, like X, Y, Z. If an event is happening, if we could able to think in 3 dimensions, X, Y, Z. So X, Y, Z. So this is called as conservation. If we are able to think, that's why the small kid, the first kid in that previous experiments, she told wrong. when the water is transferred to a slender jar, because she could be able to think in only one dimension. Therefore, the kids of this age 2 to 7 years, they won't possess conservation, and also they won't possess reversibility. They will not possess reversibility. Means if 2 plus 3 is equal to 5, if we ask 3 plus 2, they will not say easily suddenly it's equal to 5, but both are same. Okay, so this is called reversibility. That reversibility will not be there, conservation will not be there, but language will be developed, symbols will be little bit developed, ego is formed. These are the characteristics of the second stage. In concrete operational, they can understand if the object is before them. Concrete means if an object before them. Opposite of this word is abstract. So abstract means which cannot be seen by our eyes. Concrete means can be seen by our eyes. So if we can see by our eyes, they can understand something better. That's why when they grow up, when they move to 7 to 11 years, they can think in 3 dimension X, Y, Z. Therefore, conservation will be there. That's why the grown-up kid, she said correctly when we have shown the second experiments. Reversibility also will be there. Since they have grown up, they can think. Operation means thinking. They can think when the object is present, concrete operational stage. If we are not able to think, that is called pre-operational stage. This is before thinking stage, before the concept formation. Here the concept is being formed, but that object should be there in front of us. Otherwise the concept will not be formed. That's why teachers are advised to use teaching learning materials, okay, for this stage people. So when we move to the see the word pre-operational, concept will not be formed. Concrete operational, concept will be formed when object is present before them. Formal operational stage. So they are in operational stage. They need nothing. Even though the object is not there, the concept will be formed. So they can form hypothesis. So they can conduct the experiments. They can arrange for the experiment. They can do the experiment. They can verify the hypothesis. They can classify. So many things are formed at this stage. So this is what the brief summary of Piaget stages of cognitive development. So along with this cognitive development, he has promoted the theory of constructivism. So learning by constructivism, which means that the learner himself forms the ideas, generate ideas, forms the meaning with what he has learned. So a kind of self-learning. So this is what we call constructivism, and these are the our archive of definitions on learning. So you know from the beginning. The first one, permanent change. The second one, correction of mistake. Third one, new connection between stimulus and response. Fourth one, learning by imitation. Fifth one, sudden occurrence of insight. And what is now we have to add? Can you guess? So it is the meaning construction, constructivism. So learning is nothing but constructing meaning. So with this, we end our class. We will meet in next episode for a new learning theories. Thank you so much.